Hey footballers, so today we're going to look at how Messi typically runs with the ball. So sometimes it looks like he's just dribbling and not doing any moves, but even when he runs, I find, he has a specific technique. So let's go over this clip first. Okay, first, so what I really want to notice is like when he does an inside cut here. So just to point out, he is like kind of going here and then like um, changing direction rather than kind of dribbling straight because his body's a little bit more to the side. That's just going to point because I want to lead to see like typically when he does an inside cut, you see that like leg and that knee kind of again it crisscrosses to the inside and at the same time he tries to quickly like cut it down to the other side here. So there's not too much I want to point out here, other than just pointing out his supporting foot, his right leg in this instance, and that knee and his leg crisscrossing into the middle as he always does when he does an inside cut. So like later in the clip when he does this like typical run, so it's not just this is like how he always runs. You see like you see that leg, see kind of like it's kind of subtle to tell, but I find like when you like dribble the ball, it's more typical to like have your leg out there for balance. A lot of times you see what Messi does. You see that like it kind of like swoops into the middle like that before like having his ankle and turning out. You see how he always like turns his body out and like his arms go for balance and he turns to the side here. So like I think that it really helps like dribble. So one factor is being fast with the ball, but when he dribbles, you see that like as it swoops in, it can kind of like let the defender give the impression that he might do an inside cut before like in the last moment, just like kind of swooping out a bit and being more like in the middle of the body. So here's me demonstrating just the inside cut. And then you see like my supporting leg goes into the middle, especially like my knee, and then that right foot crisscrosses into the middle of my body. And here's me trying to do that dribble with like Messi. So as I approach, I'm trying to keep that leg sort of like into the middle of my body. It did take some conditioning to do. I wouldn't say it's the hardest trick ever, but especially doing it at pace and doing it controlled and being able to like maneuver, that does take a bit of practice. And then as a result, since it's close to your body, and if you want to like control dribble straight ahead, typically your dribbling foot needs to go a bit more like to the inside. So sometimes you might even hit it and slide it in. So that's sort of a slow I'm trying to do here. And at times, a lot of times, somebody touches it. It seems like he almost also does like a slight feint here. So as he comes in, like in the swoops in, he might also feint the other side before continuing his run and like swooping his leg in and then doing a feint. Now here's another clip of Messi where we'll illustrate the use of how he runs and giving you the options depending where the defender is positioned. So you see here, you see like how like before, as I mentioned, that right knee kind of like tries sort of like almost inside before coming out, and then this, he's kind of like turning his body just for balance, and then it's a bit hard to tell, but like usually that like dribbling foot does go to the middle, just for leverage, because since you're dribbling straight and your supporting foot is more to the middle of the body. Sometimes he hits it with like the inside part of his boot, but if he's going with the outside of his boot, typically he'll either slide it in or like keep his like fairly in line with his body. So as he goes, you see like that leg is stay closed, and then you see just it's almost like like it goes from like almost like from a crisscross like midair to a feint as he does, and then turns that body, see those arms out for balance. So I find it helps just to hop just a little bit, because in midair you want to have that enough time to like turn your like turn your supporting leg in and then turn it out, depending on the defender. So a lot of times I've been experimenting, doing it's like a feint and inside cut and seeing how the defender reacts. But a lot of smarter defenders, they'll only position their feet once you land on your feet. So you might do a feint, and then the defender will position here. You do a slight inside cut, he'll position here. But with this, it gives you more options. So let's say you're here and your knee sweeps in. You can see how the defender might be positioned. If say he sees you're about to maybe do an inside cut and he moves out here, you can do more aggressive feint and then go to the other side. But as Messi continues to dribble the ball, you see here, it gives you options. You can either do an inside cut with a crisscross, or you can do that just a normal a feint run and go straight, while trying to still have enough flair by dropping that shoulder and turning your body and keeping that supporting foot close to the middle of your body. Or you see where, since his knee is still close to his body, see he's deciding late and then that's when he spreads his leg out. So I find it's natural when you do a feint to immediately put your leg out because you're anticipating that. But I find it's a lot more effective, and it's really subtle because to keep those legs together, and then at the last moment as you stretch out, then to turn your leg out during the feint. And here's a brief clip of Messi showing that bringing that supporting leg in. So you see, there's a bit of distance between Messi and the keeper was about here. So, since there's a bit of distance, I find a lot of times Messi kind of really wants to exaggerate that, fake crisscross, if you will, a bit more. So see, as he comes in, he jumps with his dribbling foot a bit higher like this, and see I don't know if you can tell, but that drives in quite a bit more than normal before it doesn't really come out much. He's just kind of preparing to balance himself by using his arms and turning his body before going to the other side and evading the keeper. So I've done this a bit during some practice matches, and it does work. I can't say I'm comfortable doing it because I think it does take some practice to get used to. At different speeds and getting used to going at different angles and all that. And what's even more is once you're comfortable with that, you can read the defender and see how he's positioned, so you can decide if you want to do a crisscross, maybe that feint run, or doing a heavier feint. And there's another clip I kind of want to point out, kind of the dribbling strategy that I've been using and trying to see how Messi implements it. So let's look at this clip. So as I mentioned, typically as Messi dribbles the ball, either brings it in, see how the defender's positioned. If he's leaving the gap, you might do an inside cut by crisscrossing it in, or even just crisscrossing and trying to bait the defender to go in, or doing just that feint run and then going more or less in a straight line, or doing a feint and going to the side. But sometimes the defender, he's really planted, or it really depends on the space and positioning. If he's trying to not react, what you can do, I find it helps, is you go really close and you do the stutter steps. So here, Messi does stutter steps. In this case, he does an inside cut, but typically I like to go out the other way. The game plan is you feint, you crisscross, and just try to see how the defender reacts. And sometimes the defender doesn't react, so he's trying to go at the last possible moment. So if you go really close to him and do the stutter step, it's very hard for him to react. So that's what I use in my head if he's not reacting to my feints and cuts. And as I already mentioned, now I'm trying to do it as Messi does. So if I do a slight hop and then bring that leg in, I can adjust midway, because sometimes I might do a crisscross in my head, but they can't go early, so I could have just gone by them. Instead, I'm already stuck on the ground.